We have a Dalek going by with a, yes, and Khaleesi, yes. Any more fun stuff coming by? Nope, just getting out of the Game of Thrones interview. Of course, everyone's walking over. I can get some video.
Such a great night.
Kicking some butt. How you guys doing? Good. Who wants to come up and take a picture of Josh and I? I need one for Facebook. Thanks.
I'm in my casual.
Okay, now remember, I'm over 40, so shoot down on me. Yep. Okay, so what you do is you hold it like that and raise it up so we look good. We're both tall. Now raise the camera up. See over here, put this way. Ready?
What a beautiful couple.
You look gorgeous.
I look blue.
No, that's because she had to buy up a flash.
That's because I need mine.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I think it'd be
Do you know he's a year older than me? And this whole time I thought he was like 5 years younger than me.
You're still prettier.
No. It's cute, isn't it? You can't even see it.
Nope, can't
Yeah,
see
yeah.
it. Totally mine.
Where the hell's Boxleitner? Over here.
Yeah, it's always the famous question, isn't it? Where's Bruce?
Well, we can get this party started without him. Yeah. Am I supposed to climb up this? Lord. Welcome to Galveston. I haven't been here since I was 8 years old. I used to live in Houston, I'll admit that. My dad was with Shell Oil Company, oil man. So, and you know what exciting thing happened in Galveston for me? We were on the beach when I was a little girl, and a mangy little disgusting thing walked up to us, and we didn't know what it was. My father said, "Stay away, don't touch it." And we insisted on taking it home. It ended up being a black poodle. We named him Harry. We made him for 10 years. And he was the best dog in the world. Isn't that sweet? We found him on the beach in Galveston. Then he got killed by the postman, but we won't talk about that.
Post office.
Yeah.
I lost all our Christmas presents.
What?
The post office, they suck.
Post office things, yeah. You can see it by skirt, can't you?
No, not at all. Well, you can
You're
still
wearing
see
one
a
too.
mark,
Why do you
so-
think I'm asking you? You're wearing a man skirt, a murder. Like a man that killed. Are you regimental?
I am.
Yeah, regimental? That means he doesn't have any underwear on. Stay clear.
I'm married, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Windy and cold. You have a tattoo behind your ear. I have the same tattoo on my toe. You have behind your ear.
We're upside down.
Yeah, I have Okay.
Bearing something.
Well, what the heck? I don't think we should wait. I mean, it's 1:40. Testing.
Thank you, Claudia, for being here.
Take charge, Commander.
I'm
Just gotta switch it on.
testing. My mother's German, so I was taught that if you're not on time, you will die. So I'm the first one. New Year's Eve party this year. We didn't want to go out because we're homebodies, but we actually decided to go out, and the party started at 7:30. We were parked outside from 7:30 to 8:30 waiting for somebody else to go in the door. And finally we just looked at each other and said, oh, screw it, somebody's got to be first. So, yeah, I'm perpetually early. People lie and tell me the party's starting at 10 because they know if they tell me 8, I'll be there exactly at 8.
Do you lend a hand if you get there early?
Yes, of course. Of course. Also handy in the kitchen. Any questions? What the hell? Let's just get started. Screw the rest of them. Besides, the Earth Alliance is now 2 people. 2 very capable, handy people.
Been some incidents in the hallways, and we just have to.
I could do the Pelosian freighter speech if you want. Yes. Lieutenant Commander, the Pelosian freighter's coming in at dock H at 0100 hours. What can you do? Is it coming into Brown Sector 2 or?
Aye, Captain.
Josh, why don't you tell the story about how you got a name?
I got a name because Claudia said it was okay. No, it's really true. Though I started as a day player, as you know, like Tech 2, right? Yeah. Went to Tech 1. That was that. But I always thought it was going to be one day of work, actually. And it kept bringing me back, and then one day, Claudia, in the goodness of her heart, shouted very loudly, so everybody could hear, "When are we going to get Josh a name?" And sure enough, she kept shouting loudly and loudly. Other people sort of took up the call, I guess, or at least didn't say no. And eventually it happened. They gave me the name Lieutenant Coleman, and I got full actual credit. It was kind of like my first actual name credit on a series that went for, by the time I did about 35 episodes. It was great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And thanks to this, both sisters.
When you're working with somebody that much and you're looking at the script and it says Tech 1, you think to yourself, first of all, if he's a real character, they might write a story, and he's a nice guy. I like having him around. The other fellow, we sucked out the airlock because he was a jerk. That was the rule on Babylon 5. No prima donnas, no jerks. If you're a jerk, you get sucked out the airlock.
That's a good reason.
Killed in space. You could always tell when the Star Furies would go out, you go, he's dead. That guy was a jerk.
I like the red shirt and Star Trek.
Yeah. We had a couple of people that were a little cocky, they just didn't get along in our little tribe. So we would just slowly walk by Joe's office and say, "Hey, that guy can die or what?"
If we had foam rocks on the bridge like they had in the Star Trek, we probably would have popped over the head.
Yeah. Stuffed a teddy bear down his throat. Does anybody have any questions?
I don't want to live in a world without
Back
that.
when you started, there wasn't even, well, never mind.
Can I go over to this?
Why, they didn't even have television back when Bruce started. They just did hand puppets.
We did campfire stories.
Are we in the witness
Mine on
protection
yet?
program?
Why is it so dark all of a sudden?
It's on.
Is it on?
Lights.
Felt good.
Lights! Lights!
Earth Alliance. What were you talking about? That sounded good. I don't hear the end of what you're saying.
He was asking about deferred payment and how we feel about these freebie films and all that stuff, and I was explaining that it sucks, and then Josh said he gets bologna sandwiches, and I said I had to bore myself out because of it.
Well, I'm doing a series in Canada. Second season is March, and I have to pay for my way up there and pay for my own living there.
No way.
Yes, I do. The world has changed.
It really has changed. I mean, I was just saying, we were all in the wrong era. I mean, we really were lucky. 80s, 90s. Yes, the 80s. I miss the 90s too. It's like, yeah, you just have to adapt and you have to diversify. You got to start writing books and
Yeah,
things. And,
Yeah, that's why I've got a
production now with a major entity. We're just waiting for them to say yes or no.
Is this your steam?
Lansing City, yeah. I finally got it with somebody, and I'm hoping that
You have a role for an aging brunette?
I've got all kinds of roles. All my friends
You heard that, folks? You heard that?
No, it's true. It's true. If all goes well, but you know what? Everything is so iffy. You know, it's such a big dollars and cents. And the Three Stooges are doing something. Please talk.
A little threesome action.
What are we talking about? We're supposed to talk about Earth Alliance.
Sexy space sandwich.
You are the envy of men.
Corbin was the only
Where's his wife? Is she here?
Where's Wendy? Schlitterbahn! Let's ask some questions, folks. Yes, stand up and ask.
It's so nice of you to celebrate Babylon 5. All of you. I just want to say for this week, thank you so much.
And I would like to say, for anyone who's not from around here, who's maybe from out of state, welcome to Galveston Island. You're going to love it, and it's my home, and thank you for coming.
Yeah, this question is for all of you. Was there a particular episode or scene that was difficult to shoot, and why?
Tracy.
Are we talking about Earth Alliance or in general?
Just in general in the seasons.
Oh.
Somebody laugh.
Well, hard to film. Like, there was an episode where they had me crawling through the holes, you know, the ducts, and I felt like Francis Farmer. He made me do it so many times. But no, I didn't. There was nothing hard. I mean, the Day of the Dead was hard on my heart, because when you have to go to Gloomy Town for drama, you have to really go there. You can't fake it, or the audience knows. And at the end of the day, your heart doesn't know that you were just doing it for money. Your heart thinks you really went through a death again.
You can come out now, though.
And really a tender moment.
It's always the bad leading. Bruce, when you help, tell us.
No, I only had that one time. That was the one time. It was when I had some speech. We had an elaborate camera. It was on the CNC, the command and control set. And you had the line after a certain little speech I had to do. And I remember the look on your face, very much like now, going, is he going to make it through? Is he going to make it? It was something about some freighter. I don't know, some ships were staring at us up there, and it was going to blow us all to hell and everything. And I had someone, and the ISN camera was floating around. Does anyone remember that?
Yeah.
There was like a little robotic camera supposedly floating around, and I hated the damn thing, and I kept trying to push it away and things like that. You know, Sheridan was a grumpy guy. He really was. Grumpier than one. Anyway, oh, and I admit it. I'm the come to get an autographed picture. I will chew you out. I will tell you right here, that front row. These people should never be allowed back in.
We love you too.
No, it's just some speech I couldn't remember, and I think it was 40-some takes. We would get to it, and I'd see, and I know I'm looking at Ivanova, and I'm looking at this dear woman in her eyes, she's going, he's almost there. Oh. Only one time I had this, pardon me, a brain freeze or something on this particular line. I couldn't get it, and then I got more frustrated. That's the only time. I think we never really had, I think everybody was up to their game. There were no real difficult things like, you know what I'm saying? Shut up down there in Peanut Gallery. Okay, security.
Every once in a while you get the techno battle speeches. And, mine was the pink ribbon one. Tie a pink ribbon around the station or something. And it was this long speech, and you were there.
I believe I was.
And it was the last shot of the day. I was exhausted, and about 38, 40. And I was in tears. I literally had to walk off and I started to cry because I felt John Copeland, the producer, sitting there with his bloody stopwatch. Remember that thing? You know, the old-fashioned train watch he's got there, and it's staring at it at 7. We're supposed to wrap at 7. So 7:15, 7:20, 7:25. And I'm thinking to myself, all I can see is dollar signs in his eyes. They're turning on like a monopoly.
Money was burning.
Oh yeah, and I'm thinking, okay, in how many episodes? What, up until then, 72 episodes? I've never screwed up, and now I'm really screwing up. You know, but you feel tremendously guilty, and then of course it gets worse and worse, and you start to sweat and cry. Daddy's home. But anyway, the rest of the shoot was pretty damn easy. I can't really remember. I mean, I love the crying scenes and stuff like that, so that's never difficult.
No, I think
it's the big techno battle crap.
You know when
You know the way I deal with the techno battle? I did the Ted Baxter method. I had no idea what I was talking about, but I said it with great conviction.
I don't think we really had it as much as Star Trek people do. They had much more technical stuff to say. But you know what?
And they were 20-hour days.
I'm going to defend something here. I think the material was so good, that's why we didn't have problems. You know, whatever you want to say, JMS was a terrific writer, great writer.
Is he dead? What do you mean what?
You see, I have to be very careful. I have been caught on YouTube saying things about certain people on the show.
But I
might
still
have
love
a few
you.
drinks in me down in Australia. Whoops.
I killed him.
Those Aussies love to party, and I love to party with them. So I said a few things that I've regretted over the years, and I talked to Joe about this, and well, anyway, I'm going to be giving a speech that he wrote at our panel tomorrow night. Is that it? The B5 thing?
Sunday.
He sent me something. Is it Sunday?
Sunday's a big week. No, tomorrow.
Saturday.
Tomorrow.
He sent me. He emailed me something. He wants me to read to you all, so and I will. But anyway, I think he wrote some incredible material for all of us actors that it wasn't difficult, folks. When it's good material, it's not difficult. When it stinks, that's when it's really difficult to sell. That's really difficult.
What little I did have to say came out very smoothly.
You and I have a lot of interaction. You remember that long winner we had? And a winner is a shot that you do all in one take, like they were talking about, where
That's when you
where
first came
everybody has the extras, everyone has to be perfect, or it's ruined. And this guy's carrying an 80-pound camera and swearing under his breath at you, and
Trying not to trip as he walks back.
right. And Josh and I had a very long scene at the beginning of the movie River of Souls, and that was my first.
Yeah, that was your first day. You had both of us together.
Yeah.
Remember, Claudia, you and I had so many, when I first came on, had so many walking down the hallway speeches. You know, those long hallways of Babylon 5, and we were always together.
Hated the steady cam.
Do you know what was in front of us? A crew falling all over themselves going backwards. If anything was difficult, it was difficult to just keep like nothing is going on in front of you. When there's a whole crowd of cameramen, lighting, people's sound, everybody's stumbling as quiet as they can. Backwards, trying to stay away from you and keep in focus and everything.
Please, once the crew got comfortable with us, that when we were in CNC and Koxx is supposed to be dead and I'm supposed to be weeping, they put a bloody fishing rod with a little Enterprise model on it. Going across our thing, and I'm like, this is my serious moment. And I can practically hear the theme tune. And from that point on, it was like rubber snakes and all sorts of crap. Nobody cared at that point. After we all decided that we're all just a bunch of jerks.
Yeah.
Then let go the floodgates of hell.
It was a very fun show. I think it was fun to do. I know it's like 20 years or whatever it is now. 18 years over. We're getting close. Well, let's see. 2013. Didn't you guys do the pilot? 93. 93.
93.
Yeah. I joined the show in 94. So 93, you had to have done the first season. But The Gathering and it says that on the box.
I was very embarrassed because I I pride myself on my professionalism, and the night before, I had been watching The Three Tenors. It was on TV, and I went out into my garden. I probably had some wine, and I started doing flying ballet leaps around the pool, and landed incorrectly, and literally my foot disintegrated. I broke an ankle, I crushed it, and 4 other bones. End up at the hospital, and I'm screaming because it's out of the socket. They give me a Demerol, they're throwing me in a chair. I get back home, and I'm like, shh, I got a call then. I was working the next day.
Yeah.
So I called John Copeland, and he had to call Joe, and they rewrote the whole thing. The only problem with the Drazi episode, of course, is we had to recreate me breaking my foot. And if anyone's ever broken a bone, when you have a stunt man, imagine landing next to the broken bone to pretend that you're breaking it. It was pretty brutal, but they treated it very well. And then right afterwards, I think 3 weeks after, Doyle broke his shoulder. So it was like, how on infirmary?
If you remember that, it was so cool when they all jumped and you're stuck in the middle of it.
Oh yeah.
We went down, that scream was real.
That scream was absolutely real. No, I screamed for real because there were people jumping right around my crushed foot. But I loved that episode because it was funny. I said to Joe at one point, I said, why do I have to have such a big pull up my butt? Can't I just relax a little bit? Can I just be funny at one point? And he rewarded me with with a menstruation episode with Mira and purple green. And then that's like the story of when I said, why do I have to bang every guy in the universe? Why can't you give me an alien and a woman? As a joke. Next script, oh!
An alien woman.
Okay! Yeah, so be careful what you wish for.
Anybody else? Sir.
How much input did you have in the character development, or was it all on paper?
I don't think we had any.
No.
And I think we were, right from the start, we really didn't have much, if anything. I think what he is very good at is he adapted the characters very much to us.
That's what I was going to say, because
He observed
he would watch us at lunch, because we all ate lunch together, and he would watch us like Diane Fossey, he would watch the Great Apes. And you know, a few weeks later, you would see something that was familiar from that lunch. A character trait, or a gesture, or just something.
Something
It was
like
familiar.
Even the thing with the one earring, that came from my brother dying. And then he put that into Adonis' brother dying.
That's good television writing, because you've got to live with these people for the long run, not a 2-hour movie. You know, and he takes up, he is brilliant that way in picking up on these things. You know, Jerry's electric bleachers, that came from a very heated political debate at lunchtime about capital punishment. Jerry said something about that, my way out of the mall, I've had electric bleachers. Well, you're all said that. So, what do you agree with that?
Jerry said once that we got in a script where I punched Jerry and knocked him down, and he goes, yeah, right in Hollywood. And I said, don't worry, you're safe as long as it's not brain wrestling.
Sir?
I was wondering, at what point did y'all kind of realize that Babylon 5 was a pseudo Lord of the Rings in space?
Not until 7 or 10 years afterwards. When did we realize that Babylon 5 was sort of a pseudo Lord of the Rings in space?
I realized it being a fan the first 4 years watching.
I thought we were the Knights of the Round Table.
We had that. Actually, Joe gave me a leather-bound version of the Lord of the Rings after the first season. I was on, that would have been the second season. And he said, this is what I really think it's about like.
Well, who does that make me? Frodo?
You're a nice feat.
I don't know.
I mean, if you're Ian McKellen,
I guess I was Gandalf or
what's Tracy and I? I mean, you know, what are we, the dwarves?
Here we can't.
You can see where you're falling through the fire. That's like Gandalf falling.
That is.
Yes.
But there was so much.
I should have Ian McKellen's
No,
career.
but that's a good catch on your part. Yeah, good catch.
For all of you, when you signed on to do the show, were you told in advance that stuff like this was going to be part of it? Conventions and coming out meeting the people?
No. And you know, the first time we went to England, I'll never forget.
Blackpool, right?
Blackpool. We did this huge convention, and this is before anyone was charging. Warner Brothers had us out there for some sort of big event.
Yeah.
And so we just had to line up and sign photos for hours and hours. And I brought my mother with me, and I never forget, she looked at me and she saw this huge line of the spaceship landing and all the smoke coming up. She goes, "Why are all these people here?" And I said, "I think they're here for us." And she went, "No!" That is so egotistical, Claudia. It must be some sort of fashion convention or something. And I'm like, "No, Mom, I really think they're here for us." And she said, "That's impossible. The line goes all the way out." And I'm like, "No, really." And there were people. I was sitting next to Peter Jurasek, and Peter and I looked at each other and went, "Holy, we're going to be here all day." And it never ended, because in England, we were rock stars. It was like,
we have a lot in common, we really do. And as I've said on numerous occasions, I started watching the show because of Claudia. And my first convention was when the show was still on the air in Chicago. And I had my mother with me, as I did all the time. And the lines were looped around like it was the best ride at Disneyland. And my mother was a teeny bit hard of hearing. And she goes, "Well, I can't believe all these people are here to see you." And I said, "Could you say that a little louder, because a couple of people in the kitchen missed it."
I can tell you, if I had any idea about what it was going to become or what all this involved, I would have taken a lot more color photos on set, I can tell you.
Yeah.
Oh, there'd have been some good ones. I had these old black and whites. I think I was digging through a whole bunch of box sets of CDs of the seasons to try to get anything decent for this event. Crazy.
Remember when we had the rose thing? The
Yes.
love interest thing?
By the way, favorite moment for sure for my character.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That was so much fun. To get to really play with Claudia, like, because most of our stuff obviously was like, and me being all old but finally like have a little bit of like actor fun. That was by far one of the greatest moments for me coming on that show. So really, guys.
Wait. It just hit me. You were intimidated by Ivanova and you sassed me.
Well, Joe made me do it.
Yeah, but by that time, he was very cocky up there on that thing.
I've been on that bridge a little while.
You were
Started to feel my nose.
He was like so insubordinate. It was
No, I was respectfully challenging.
Boy, that was diplomatic.
It's absolutely true. You said Joe had once time commented that Babylon 5, there was a British sci-fi series years ago called Lakes 7. And B5 was intentionally, I think, done as though we were in it. It was shot in a certain style, a certain way. The look of it and everything was shot very much like a lot of the British series. In this country, science fiction has never really been, now it is, respected as serious drama, and that is by network television.
Battlestar Galactica changed that.
It did, yes. Even Star Trek still considered childish. Science fiction in our culture, for the most part, has been considered something akin to, the kids with comic books. Even in the movies. But now the guys that were those comic book
and the
geeks.
Dynasty audience is Mensa.
No, but I mean the Spielbergs and the George Lucases and all that, they're the grand old men of the industry now, the moguls, and they grew up. But before that, the generation before never really respected science fiction. It's kind of considered the movie, and now it's cool. And now television is nothing but damnable zombies and vampires. I can say. Leave television to pick up on one thing and drive it into the ground.
Yeah.
So,
Let's have another time travel series,
well,
shall we?
let's do that. Let's have another zombie TV show.
But there's no steampunk yet.
There will be.
Get loads of roles for Asian brunettes. Yes. You up there with the hat.
Babylon 5 was a show that was known for really good writing. Was there a particular scene or script and this is for all of you, that you picked up and went, wow? that was the, were you really impressed with the writing you were being given?
I'll take it because it's a quick and easy one for me. Yes. The script where I intervene with Garibaldi's alcoholism, I really did that. That was very heartfelt for me. And as I already mentioned, Day of the Dead. Those are my two favorites.
I pretty much went wow every week.
You had some good stuff. I had my big Death Incarnate speech, and that was the time when I went, yeah.
That's cool. I want to say that the story arc of the Shadow War, prior to it, during, and after, was like I couldn't wait every week. I never wanted to know beforehand. I want to give, just before doing it, I wanted to approach it the way Sheridan approached every day, in that we didn't know what was coming. And to, read several except for like 2 lines that took me 40-some takes to get to, and I had to go walk around the parking lot for a while. They took a break, everyone go have some coffee, let Bruce go and yell at himself for a while. I'm still suffering from that.
Post-traumatic stress disorder.
It was horrible. I thought I was going to get fired at any moment. And the look on your face, by the way, was horrific, because I knew that everything was waiting, and then one take in which I finally got it right, you didn't know your line, because you were so... This woman was there with me for 30-some takes, praying, and then she'd get her line, and it does happen. You're so focused on the other actor going, come on, you're there, you're almost there, and then oh God, what do I have to do? Oh, oh my God.
Yeah, but it was his close-up, so it was fine.
That was fine, yes.
Oh God, that was funny.
But I think, I look back on it through the haze of 20 years, and I think that we were very fortunate in the kind of writing. I don't think it's as good right now. I would love to see that kind of quality. There are other shows, I'm sure, that have. I'm just not watching them. Breaking Bad, yes. I think Game of Thrones is a big favorite of mine, though I've got to catch up on it. But,
I just screen tested to play Jason Momoa's mother in a
really?
And
in Game of Thrones?
No, in a TV series.
Oh, I was going to say he's dead.
Because he's dead. But he'll be here.
And let's just say that when I saw the picture, I wasn't feeling very maternal.
How does that work? He's hot. How do you?
That might lend an interesting dynamic.
That's like when Angelina Jolie was Colin Farrell's mother. You're like, they're 2 years apart.
Yeah. It's a movie.
Plus, they look like they could have sex.
Anybody else?
We haven't had a woman in a long time. Is that a lady in the front?
Any women care about this show?
As an actor, what were, and this is for each of you, is there a storyline or an arc that you wish had been developed more?
Lieutenant Corwin's.
That light you have on the camera is so bright. That light you have on the camera is so bright.
No, I feel like I'm being drawn to it.
I'm feeling very Norma Desmond.
I think there were probably a few that we didn't get to. Simply because 4th season, we were all going home after that 4th season. And he had to truncate a lot of things.
Well, one of us did go home.
And one of us did go home. I was a very angry man. Hey, you know what? Going back to that other question, that was not our finest moment either. I mean, there were a lot of things that we got upset about on that show.
Yeah, but there was
We never know if we were coming back.
We didn't know if we were coming back. Then we shot the last episode. Then everybody, I took another job, and then suddenly they go, well, we've got the money, but can you take pay cuts? And then no residuals. And then it was like we were always treated like the ugly little stepchild.
You don't get residuals?
Those came with the 5th season.
Well, I did for the first 4 years.
No, there was a lot of that kind of turmoil. But because when you love doing a show, I think everybody on it really loved doing it.
last
They did
episode.
everything they could to try to make us hate it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, they kept cutting the budget and slashing the things and
we were Warner Brothers' poor little stepchild out there. They left us alone. Boy, did they leave us alone.
yeah, but then I found out from people that my friends on Star Trek that they were slogging away 20-hour days and I mean Tracy worked on Star Trek, so I mean they were literally Terry Farrell was telling me that people would be in tears. They'd be sitting there in makeup at 3 in the morning and they would wrap at like midnight and then have to come back at 3. I mean it was insane. They were pushing calls which raised their budgets to be twice what we were. We were we cost half as much as one episode of Star Trek, if that. And most of their stuff, I think, was due to pushing calls and having to pay golden time and overtime to actors. And they got no rest. You did.
Well, my makeup call was 3 a.m. and it took an hour and 45 minutes to take off the Kardashian makeup.
When you're done.
When you're finished.
You really want to go home.
But Babylon
I
5,
liked
I
my
think,
makeup artist. She was so much fun. We had a good time.
Babylon 5, I don't think we went past 9:30 or anything like that.
Ever. Friday night's the only time we ever went
And I think
past
one
12
time
hours.
there were some camera problems. Did they ever go about that time? I mean, I was home by 7:30 to have dinner. You know,
Friday, by the way, in the business is called Fraturday.
Yeah.
Because you can go as late as you want because no one has to work the next day.
So they can keep you
Friday.
way late. It's usually
The
Saturday
turnaround
morning.
time doesn't go 12
We never
hours.
did that.
12 hours.
That didn't
There's a
happen.
lady in the cowboy hat back there.
That's Teresa of California, and she'll be forever famous now. Yes, ma'am. I don't
Who
remember.
was the greatest practical joker on set? And you can include JMS. And what was the greatest practical joker?
Who's the biggest practical joker? We all were pretty good at
And
it.
there was an ongoing sound effect that I remember.
What was that?
For like the first year, but I don't know if it's appropriate to bring up in front of children. Are the children?
I would have to say probably, I would have to say Jerry Doyle, Richard Biggs for
Oh, that's
Frank
right.
Finish.
Oh, that's right. Michael O'Hare used to grab his junk before takes, and they used to go. You weren't there.
I worked with him once.
He adjusted his testicles a lot.
I'm very proud of him.
Okay, are there any children in the audience? No.
Well, they can't hear
Shut his ears for a second.
To hear
So the first thing he ever said to me was, "I have an average-sized penis, but enormous testicles." This was the first thing he said to me. And I said, "Hi, I'm Claudia." So nice to meet you, Mr. O'Hare. I can't wait to play Commander. It's gonna be fun. The crew used to always make that sound effect whenever he did.
Didn't I say to you, hi, I'm Bruce, I have an enormous...
Yes. I'm like a stud
It's
field
very-
mouse. That's what Jerry used to say.
I'm like a
Stud field mouse.
mouse.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Wow.
Children.
We have really sunken low. Kids are out.
I know the kids are leaving. I'm out of here.
Anyway,
Just for the record, it's not just children, because I see some members of my parish.
It's all natural. God made it. Sir in the back with the gray hair.
somebody that raised his hand and then checked it out.
We already see the church.
We were acknowledging Tracy.
Okay.
Oh,
That's Steve. He's our best cantor at Shrine of the True Cross. I would have.
Oh,
He's a great singer.
okay, good.
Stand up, please.
Did the,
Shout.
Please stand up.
did
You
that
are
stuff come from Jerry Doyle's background, or did JMS stick that in there?
What? Say again?
Where did
Daffy
that
Duck.
duck come from?
Daffy
Jerry
Duck.
Doyle?
I think that's something, I think it's more JMS than Jerry, but I wouldn't be surprised with Doyle.
Weren't they wonderful?
By the way, let's all curse Jerry Doyle right now. I don't care who he's meeting with. I haven't seen the dude in so many years.
He is the funniest, smartest man. I love him.
He's a very smart man.
Yeah, and he canceled
should be
at
in
the
jail.
last second.
What do you want? You're itching your cell phone? What is he doing?
Canceled.
I know, the last.
5 minutes?
Last second.
5 minutes and some other panel wants to come in here. Stay out! We'll let you know when we're done.
Unless it's my
What
future
else? Where else
son.
you going?
Unless it's my future husband.
Son. My future son. In a sort of lascivious maternal way.
Okay, last question.
Is it?
No, second to last.
From Toronto here.
I love your outfit from Toronto.
Yes.
It's really nice to see all of you
It's nice to see you
together.
again. I've seen you many times.
So this was my dream to finally meet Bruce. You were the last one I had met, so I want to thank you. And
Good to meet
it's
you
a dream
too.
come true. I'm still pinching myself. So, so I just wanted to thank you for your work. Basically, it's not a question. Just to thank you for your amazing work. You had great source material, but you guys brought the characters to life that we love. And I want to thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
Sorry, I saw your hair. I didn't see your mustache.
I know we all have. I know we all have our own favorite lines from the show. We all have, one that sticks out more than any. But do you guys have something that's just, your favorite line you ever got to say? Or
Scramble all fighters. Who has one?
Mine was Boom, obviously. That's not like Boom today. Always a Boom. I think my favorite line ever was "God sent me." It was so hard to say that and not sound cheesy.
Yours was scramble all fighters.
Probably the one I said the most.
Tracy.
Mine was in that the somewhat unfortunate Voices in the Dark. I said, I know that Bruce and Jerry, we all asked for money, which was not going to happen. So I said, okay, I'm going to get something out of this. So I asked for a promotion, so I became a full-bird colonel. And I was the only one that got what they wanted. And when people weren't following my commands, I turned to the camera almost and said, I wonder if Custer had staff like this. I wonder if Custer had staff like this.
I think mine was probably, Sharon, we thought you were dead. I was, but I'm feeling much better. Joe had such a unique humor. And, no, he does. This letter, this little thing he emailed me to read tomorrow night, he's in, I believe he's in London. I may be wrong. He's in London. He is working on a new TV series called Sense8 with the Wachowskis. It's going to be on Netflix, I believe. So he's going. I hope they have as much luck with that as we had in Babylon 5.
Thanks to you guys, by the way.
Thank you, yes. And we want to thank all of you for even remembering this show. So many they have no idea what this show,
No, we have a whole new legion of fans. The problem is the Blu-ray because they shot it on an incompatible format. And
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work. It's too expensive to fix it, to stick it on Blu-ray.
It would have to
So
be
you guys are
every
gonna have
effect
to,
shot.
you're gonna have to get those free Babylon 5 t-shirts out there, and you're gonna have to wear them, and you're gonna have to write into Warner Brothers and say, just loosen the pocketbooks and put it on Blu-ray, you bastard.
DVD is already gone and it's going the way of the dodo bird. Yeah. What do you got in there that's more important?
Jason Momoa.
Can we finish with like a really killer question? Something controversial, something... Hit us with your best shot.
Who's got a real good one?
Tell me about dinner at Jerry's house. Jerry Doyle's house.
Dinner at Jerry Doyle's house?
I never got invited.
Jerry, and we weren't...
We can't. What the heck do you know? Somebody must have told us the secrets there.
Bruce and I and Jerry were at, were watching Galaxy Quest, you big nerd.
Oh, by the way, still the best movie about doing space travel.
Jerry is OCD neat, okay? And being a good host, he knows I'm from the South, so he made a whole picture of sweet tea, and it was really, really good. He had it here for me. And I got up to go to the powder room, and I came back, and I was about to say, that tea was really good, I'd like some more. Dude, where's my glass?
Yeah.
And he goes, I already washed it and put it away.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have to say goodbye now. It's 2:30.